Good Reverend Dr. Paxton JAPrice, founder of Paxton's Foundation and Church of Redemption. He is an entrepreneur, a TV and radio host, better known as The Rev. This show is designed just for you, the listener, to educate, entertain, and equip you. Now sit back, buckle up, and now let's roll with The Rev.
America, you know time it is, your main man, Rev, Faith in Sports. You know what we do every episode? We bring you the Word of God and apply it to the world of sports. And Ryan, I want to talk about the NBA Finals because these NBA Finals been fantastic. I tell you, I'm so excited. You know, 1-1, and both teams look good. Both their wins. So I don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's a good series, man. I feel like OKC got caught off guard.
The first game.
Game one, because they were resting.
Right.
They've been resting a little while. I feel like they got their feet under them, but you just don't want to play around with Indiana.
Man, the Pacers, I don't know what it is about that Pacer team that they play good defense, they can score on offense. I think SGA just acted a fool that second game. He was just ready. He was just on fire. But I think this series is gonna go all 7 games.
But he needed to show up.
He sure enough showed up.
Yeah, he needed to show up because he didn't. I don't. I feel like some games I know he likes to take his time and get himself together. But some games he's very takes him a little too long.
That's true. Because I think he's trying to let the game come to him sometimes. But, you know, when it's for all the marbles, you can't wait for the game to come to you. You got to go take over the game. That second game, he just took it over.
Yeah, and I'm sure his teammates, I'm sure the coach said something to him about it because, hey, man, it's the finals, and Indiana ain't playing.
Indiana is here to win a NBA championship, and you could tell their focus, their drive. You could see them playing defense really well.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like the way OKC looks because you could tell their depth on their team, how many players they have that can play well, especially these young people. Woo.
Yeah, I've been when I'm watching this series, I look at how. Because OKC is young.
Yes.
And their coach is young. And I still feel like Indiana's going to win the series.
Okay.
I believe it's going to, possibly go 7.
Yes.
But because I just think Rick Carlisle is a good coach, and he's gonna make those adjustments. And what OKC did was they played 2 big men for a long time.
That's right.
But when you look at Indiana, they run a lot.
They could get out on a fast break.
Yeah, man.
Real quick. With their length and with their speed on their team. And, it's going to be a series that I think is going to come down to who will execute their offense half court the best.
Because that last game, when you watch OKC's defense, man. I mean, it was turned. I mean, Indiana was turning the ball over, and it wasn't like they were making mistakes. It was just
that pressure.
Yeah, that pressure, man. It was just like,
That pressure, something. OKC went to zone a couple times.
Yeah, man.
Trying to confuse them, you know what I mean?
Yeah. And it was throwing Halliburton off.
Yeah, I think so too.
Once Halliburton gets thrown off, the whole offense is like, they don't know what to do.
If you can knock him out of his rhythm a little bit, you could at least hold him down. You know what I mean? I don't think you can stop him, but I think you can hold him down.
You know who's a really good player?
Who?
Nimhard.
He is.
I like him, man.
Yes.
And I'm okay. OKC, man, they're young, but they're like,
they got a lot of talent,
and they're like united, like they're like together.
Yeah,
because you look at the talent that OKC had with Durant and them. This is different.
Yeah, it's totally different. It's totally different. The mindset.
Yeah.
The team first attitude is totally different, and you can see OKC has that team first attitude. You can see they like a small market team that know they can win.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's really what it. And they got a leader, man, who I seen the clip yesterday.
Yeah.
First team All NBA.
Whew.
MVP. Western Conference Finals MVP. And I think it was second in scoring this year.
Was he second in scoring this year?
That's crazy, man.
That's
to be as
impressive.
young as he is.
That's impressive. Somebody said he was like Iverson. I was like, he's like Iverson.
I don't know. I wouldn't take that far.
I'm just saying what somebody said.
He good, but I don't know.
Yeah, he might not be all that.
Iverson was different, man.
Yeah, Iverson was different, dog. Iverson was different. But I'm impressed with him as a player. And like I said, this game number 2, he went in there with that attitude. I'm taking over. Move out my way. I'm going to show you what I'm going to do.
Now, if he continues to do that every single game, they're going to be hard to beat.
They will be very hard to beat. But at the same time, I saw with what the Pacers' defensive philosophy is, they're gonna run a lot of people at him. And they're going to try to wear him down. Slow him down by wearing him down.
Yeah.
And I think that's a good game plan. Whether they can execute that game plan or not, I'm not sure. But if you could throw enough bodies at him, try to slow him down by wearing him down, that might possibly work.
And that's why, that was one of the reasons why I said I like Nembhard, because his defense is like, he's good, man. Like
he is.
On defense, and you can see they do. They keep switching, they keep throwing different people, so everybody's not getting so tired. I'm waiting to see, and it hasn't happened all season. You know what I mean? But I'm waiting to see SGA get frustrated, because that's what they're trying to do.
That's what they're trying to do.
Yeah, it's.
But can they frustrate him? Can they get him off his position as the team leader, as he brings up the ball a lot of times? I'm not sure if they could do it, but I see them trying, but I'm not sure they could do it because he's so smooth.
I know. See, and that's the thing. He don't move fast.
He doesn't.
He don't move. It's just I'm just doing my thing. I'm gonna just get to where, and he gonna get to his spot.
Oh, he gets to his spot. He gets to the spot. He sets up. He makes his moves. His mid-range game is
and he plays defense.
Good. Oh yeah. Now he's one of the superstars that play defense. Not all superstars play defense, but he's one of them that play defense.
This is I think we talked about it a few days ago, but I felt like this would be the best series in the finals.
Yes,
and so far it has been. Now Indiana, they stole one of OKC. Can they hold down the fort?
They got
in
hold
Indiana.
The fort in Indiana.
You can't lose game 3.
No, you don't want to lose game 3 because the Pacers, well, their fans going to show up, I'm sure, and be in full support of their team. But the Pacers, what they don't want to do is let this series get out of hand quick.
Yeah.
The closer they stay, the better chance they have.
Yeah, because you saw it in the game too, and I feel like OKC is saying to themselves, they know they can't keep these games close, because Indiana, it's hard to keep fighting back against Indiana.
Yes.
But you saw yesterday. I mean, they blew that thing open.
They did,
because it was close in the first quarter.
You're right.
First quarter went off. I said, all right, let me take a shower. Man, I got out the shower.
Man.
I said 59-20. What?
OKC
26?
Was like, we going to take over this game.
I said 59-28. What's happening?
Right.
And they just ran them out the gym.
That's all they did. I mean, the Pacers, I thought the Pacers did what they could. But OKC, they got so many players. And they got so much length that it's hard to deal with them.
Miles Turner has to he's got to control the boards better.
Yeah.
He's been getting kind of moved around a lot.
That because OKC is they got a lot of length on their team.
Yeah. And I feel like you look at Miles Turner as time goes on in the series, and he keeps getting that physicality, because Hartenstein ain't going. He ain't going nowhere.
No, you ain't moving him.
Yeah, he's
a big, strong young man. You ain't moving him.
Yeah, this is a really good series, man.
This is a good series.
You got 2 young teams, and like you said, small market teams.
Yes.
One of them gonna get their championship, man.
No, somebody gonna get a championship.
I'm still going with Indiana though.
You gonna go? You still in?
Yeah,
I'm still gonna go AK. Okay. I'm still gonna go to OKC in 7. I got OKC in 7. But when the offseason start, we're gonna see a lot of movement. And one of the people I think we're gonna see move It's a Greek freak.
You know what? I think this is going to be one of the biggest all seasons
Giannis.
in some years, man.
Where Giannis gonna go?
You ain't gonna like this, Rev.
Okay.
You ain't gonna like this,
Okay.
because we're both
Yeah.
diehard Sixer fans.
76ers.
I got him going to New York.
The Knicks.
Yeah, man.
The New York Knicks with Giannis.
Yeah, I got Giannis going.
Yeah, I'll intercept the plane.
I got Giannis.
I'll intercept the plane.
I got Giannis going to the Big Apple.
This just in: Giannis gets traded to the Knicks. There's a man running on the airport runway. It look like the Rev. What is the Rev doing? I'm taking the plane. I'm kidnapping him.
Now you saw Halliburton dad in the
Yeah.
face. Giannis ain't have let that happen no more. Now imagine this, Rev. The Knicks are already a physical team.
Yes.
Now if you put Giannis on that team, because for me, Towns ain't the answer.
No, he's not the physical guy.
No, if you get Giannis in there,
oh man, I wouldn't like that too much. That would be a difference maker in New York.
Yeah.
Giannis with that physical
And
ability, and Brunson. Oh my, that's your boy Brunson. Yeah, that would be hard to deal with. That would be hard to deal with.
and then you got Anunoby over there too, man.
Anunoby.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah, that would be hard to deal with.
But now they gotta figure out a coach too.
And I heard they want Jason Kidd.
Ooh.
That's right now. Somebody tell the Rev. Be honest, why they ain't looking at Mark Jackson?
Rev, come on. I was just about to say he was a Knick.
Why he ain't looking at Mark Jackson?
Man, you talking about turning that team around?
Oh man, Mark Jackson.
They gotta stop doing my boy Mark like that.
I don't know why you do Mark Jackson like that. I don't know. I don't understand it. But Mark Jackson will be a very good coach with the Knicks.
Because he's a winner.
He is.
And they don't they don't want him taking over like that.
I don't know what it is.
Man, he built Golden State like that.
Mark Jackson with the Knicks. Shout out to Mark. Mark Jackson with the Knicks, I think would be the perfect fit. I'm going to throw the name out there right now. Ooh. I think the Knicks front office should look at hiring Mark Jackson as their next head coach with that team, with him coaching Brunson.
You see how quiet we got?
I think it's perfect.
Man.
I think it's perfect. But another person they said might be on the move this offseason, KD.
Yeah,
KD.
And KD, there's rumblings him going to Philly, or there's rumblings of him going to. He said he wants to go to Minnesota and play with Edwards.
That wouldn't be bad. But let's analyze the Philly situation first.
Mm-hmm.
KD in Philadelphia. KD standing the court with Maxey on the outside and Embiid on the inside. I like it.
Rev, I like it.
I like it.
I like it. But the only thing I don't like,
you
got two people's mentalities. It's totally different.
That's true.
They're not again, Durant is like Embiid. He is the best player on the team, but he's not your leader. So now if you have two of them, I don't know, that might work. But
it could.
Lord have mercy.
You had to really bring a leader in there.
But how would that work? Because then you got George.
Paul George.
I know what you about to say.
Paul George. We're gonna let Paul George.
Yeah. Send him down to.
We're gonna send him to.
For those in Delaware, send him down to Walnut Street to the bus station.
He gonna play with the 87ers. We're gonna send. Well, you know what? Paul George could.
He would be a good bench player.
Oh,
coming off the bench.
So he would be
6-man.
Vinnie Johnson.
Yeah.
Paul George, the microwave.
Because the Sixers don't have a bench.
He'd be the air fryer.
Yeah. A lot of people got air fryers though.
Paul George would be the air fryer.
That's a but he gets injured so much, man.
That's why I ain't got no problem with bringing a player like KD, because the chances of all of them being healthy ain't good. But the chance of a couple of them being healthy ain't too bad.
If you just have KD and Maxey,
yeah,
that's good.
Yeah.
But if you put Embiid there with a
Embiid
different
there.
mindset, man, they up there. They up there with
anybody.
Bring on New York.
Yeah, bring on New York anytime, any day. And the rookie this year.
Even with Giannis.
Yeah, I mean, let's not give him Giannis. Let's block that trade. NBA front office block the trade like you blocked that Chris Paul trade.
Yeah, man. Don't let that
But
happen. You know, New York is such a big market team.
I believe the NBA wants the big markets to be in the finals.
New York was there, man.
New York was almost there. They were very close.
They just Towns is a good player. He's a good offensive player.
Yeah.
But you need physicality.
Yeah, you need that toughness.
Yeah,
Especially in New York. You need that toughness in New York. And he's more finesse player.
They miss Charles Oakley and them.
Oh man. You remember them teams?
Charles Smith.
Oh man, Charles Smith from Pitt.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Patrick Ewing.
Oh Lord. They was tough. Now they was
Them
tough.
was some bad boys,
They
man.
were tough.
Anthony Mason.
Who wants to fight Anthony Mason in the dark alley?
Mark Jackson.
Mark Jackson
Come on,
again.
Man. Come on, man.
Once again, Mark Jackson will bring that New York attitude back to that team.
That's when the NBA was the NBA.
That's when the NBA was the NBA.
Did you hear Michael Jordan when they asked him about if his Chicago Bulls teams would beat LeBron's Lakers teams?
What Mike said, he already know he's going to say something crazy.
He said, yeah, we probably win by 3. And they said 3, but why so close? Because he said half of us is in the 60s right now.
Yeah. He talking about right now.
Yeah, that's what I said. Jordan is crazy, man.
Jordan wild, ain't he?
Yeah, that KD, man. I wouldn't mind him in Philly, though.
Yeah, I have no problem with the Sixers trying to get him. The boy that's a rookie this past year.
Yeah.
I thought he played well before he got injured.
Mm-hmm.
I think the Sixers got pieces that they could trade and bring in a quality star. The question is, you want to bring in the right star for that team. You need to bring in leadership, not just talent.
Mm-hmm.
So
because Philly, when all them cats are healthy, Philly is a playoff team, and they can contend with anybody.
Their talent
Yeah.
is the leadership factor is the question.
And the fans are itching to get back in the playoffs. You know, the atmosphere is not the same in the stadium.
No. And unfortunately for the Sixers fans, when the Eagles fall on their face and not make the playoff, it's going to push the Sixers into the spotlight even more.
Now, you know that didn't even sound right.
Yeah, it did.
This is why the Sixers are struggling.
When the Eagles fall on their face.
Somebody got to hold them up. Somebody got to hold the Philly franchise.
When the Eagles fall on their face and the Sixers got to rise up, Sixers rise up.
If they get KD, I'm all in.
You all in?
But I don't see him doing it. Because the Eagles front office.
There you go.
The Sixers front office is seem a little scary, man.
You think so?
Yeah, it's like they
a little tight.
They just
never know what they might do.
A lot of people don't want to play with Embiid. It almost seems like too.
Well, I see why. Embiid is a real sometimey type guy. He had no problem in the Olympics. He was just fine doing things that he needed to do. Got to the regular season, he hurt.
Because Lillard said when he was in the offseason, Lillard said, we was trying to get him in Philly, and Lillard said, I want to play with somebody who I can count on.
Oh, man. I don't know what to tell you about that.
But now, see, you thought you was going to count on Giannis. Giannis about to be out.
Yeah, Giannis ain't sticking around here.
And now Portland done moved to Milwaukee for Lillard.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we'll see what happens.
Mm-hmm.
Let's switch over to the NFL. The Green Bay Packers released their best defensive back. And I want to know,
Jair Alexander,
if he gets to a contender, will he be the difference? If he gets to Buffalo, Baltimore.
And Green Bay their GM seemed real confident when he said he's a high talent, but he can't stay healthy.
But last 2 games, he only played 7 games.
Yeah.
Last 2 seasons, both seasons he played 7 games.
Yeah, that's horrible.
Yeah, that's horrible. So you won't have to pay him much.
That's not even half a season.
That's not even half a season. You won't have to pay him much. You probably give him a 1 year prove-it deal.
That would be a Baltimore move.
That would be a Baltimore move.
Yep.
That would be a Dallas Cowboys move. What are the Dallas Cowboys?
I can see that. I can see that. But but y'all go first.
And then the star shall rise again. The star that God said wise men follow will rise to the pinnacle again. And the Dallas Cowboys.
You think he the missing piece?
shall grab. No, I think we got all the pieces. We just gonna add more.
No, you don't.
We got all the pieces. We just gonna add more.
You don't even have defensive linemen.
We got everything we need. We shall rise up once again and rebuild the empire. That is the dynasty of the Dallas Cowboys.
Where we do this every year? Where we do this every year?
Just ask me what we're gonna do tomorrow. Ask me what we're gonna do tomorrow.
What you gonna do tomorrow?
Same thing we do every day. Trying to take over the world.
Rev, this we can't keep. If you get Alexander, which I could see.
Okay.
I got y'all winning 10 games.
10?
Yeah.
We're going to win 12 games regardless. Regardless, we're going to win 12. We're going to win our division, win 12 games, win the Super Bowl, and return as the greatest franchise.
Who's your head coach again?
You don't know who our head coach is?
Schottenheimer?
Yeah.
Was it Marty?
No. Brian, the son.
He ain't Marty.
There's a gleam, gentlemen. There's a gleam. That's a Marty joke. That's a Marty joke.
Yeah, I Rev.
We're going to win the Super Bowl.
No, you're not.
The Dallas Cowboys shall win the Super Bowl.
Why do y'all do this every year?
Because every year, we do the same thing we do every other year. Try to take over the world. We're trying to take over the world.
You think so you think Pickens and Lamb gonna be?
Oh no, they're unstoppable. I don't think people realize how good that wide receiver core is, and what people
They're
forget.
hotheads.
What people ain't nobody hothead. What people forget that had an injury plague last year was Ferguson. It's gonna be hard to stop the Cowboys. It's gonna be really hard.
Yeah, y'all
to
had
stop the Cowboys.
Y'all had a lot of injuries.
We had a lot of injuries last year.
Ferguson ain't what they thought he was.
Oh yeah, he is. He was just hurt last year. But yeah, they're gonna be hard to stop.
What remember in Life?
Yeah.
When they were talking and Martin said, "Don't call me that."
Right.
And Eddie Murphy said, "I'll spell it for you."
Right.
He said, and this is what I think of Ferguson.
Yeah.
He said, SOF capital T.
Right.
Soft.
You think about Ferguson?
Yeah.
Okay. Ferguson's gonna tear y'all up.
Yeah.
I'm gonna tell him. I'm calling him up and tell him.
Yeah. If I see Ferguson, I'm gonna say
I'm
Ferguson.
gonna tell him, and we're gonna see what he does. He's gonna tear y'all up.
Just ask Schultz.
But I'm gonna tell you what I think about the Philadelphia Eagles. If I was talking to the Philadelphia Eagles, I'll say, "You gonna eat that cornbread? You gonna eat that cornbread?"
You can't have my cornbread.
Yeah. We're gonna take your cornbread.
Can't have that cornbread.
Yeah.
I think Washington's gonna take a step back.
Yeah, I think so too.
I think Washington's gonna take a step back. I think the Alexander move. I'm thinking Baltimore, like you said, Buffalo.
Yeah.
You know,
Buffalo would be a great spot for him.
Yeah. I just it ain't gonna be no different in that cold weather. He been in Green Bay.
Yeah, well, if he's smart, he'll come to the Cowboys. Nice weather,
If he's smart,
no taxes.
If he's smart,
he's gonna win the Super Bowl.
He'll be like, if he's smart, he'll be like Jalen Ramsey. They said, "What about Dallas?" And he said, Jalen Ramsey said, "I will never step foot."
Ain't about what his old
now,
washed up.
Now, if he went, you'll be saying, "Oh, it's now we're going
ain't
back."
About what his old washed up.
Yeah,
self.
he's not
he done.
He's on the other side of it, but now he's still pretty good.
I mean, yeah, he all right. I mean, he definitely a starting quarterback in the NFL. So.
Now, Rev.
Yeah.
Talk about your boy.
Okay.
Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers finally signed with Pittsburgh.
Everybody knew this.
finally got there and gonna work with the team. You know, he a diva. He got to put on a whole show all off season. He got to have people talk about him, wonder about him. But really, what in the world is he gonna do for him?
$13 million for 1 year, man.
That's backup quarterback money. You know
how
that, right?
you do it?
That's backup quarterback money.
He's I don't know what they think that he's gonna give him.
I'll tell you what he's gonna get him. Backup quarterback play.
He's not gonna be able to contend with Lamar.
He's washed up.
Yeah, he's not gonna be able to contend with Lamar. He ain't gonna be able to contend with who else over there? Burrow. Come on, man.
You know, because we're in the Philadelphia area, we watch Rocky. Remember Mr. T? It was a great fight, Rocky, the first time. And shout out to my man, Carl Weathers. He came over to the corner, and he was like, I don't need no has-been in my corner. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah.
I don't need no has-been.
Yeah, I almost felt like that was a move Tomlin just needed to save himself a little bit. Because he's been on a hot seat.
They definitely need a quarterback. It's at the bottom. They definitely need a quarterback. But, you know, Aaron Rodgers, I don't think he moves the needle either way.
No, I think they're going to be the same way they were with Russell Wilson.
Yeah, I think so, too. I think Aaron Rodgers and Russell Wilson about the same quarterback.
Yeah, at this point, at this stage, yeah.
Yep, I think it's about the same quarterback.
Yeah.
But, you know, we'll see what happens with him. I'll tell you who I got. I'll tell you who I got coming out the AFC. Buffalo Bills.
Yeah, I think.
I've been saying it for 5 years. They got to come past one time.
I think this is
Buffalo Bills.
I think it's their time because Kansas City, you know, they got.
You know what's strange is for the last 5 years I said the Buffalo Bills gonna win the Super Bowl, and you're gonna say, yeah, I'm gonna go to the Super Bowl, and you're gonna say you think it's about that time. But I said the last 5 years, Dallas Cowboys, and you say it every year. You ain't saying when I said Buffalo every year. Why you say it then, Ryan?
Because they've been more contenders than y'all.
Oh. You know what, America? Until next week, it's your man in red, my main man Ryan. Here we go.
At our church, Jesus is Lord. That single belief calls us together as a community and sends us into our world with hope and purpose. At our church, your past will never define your future. There's always redemption, which means there's always a brighter day. At our church, we don't think we're better than any other church out there. We're just doing our best to become our best. At our church, we want you to believe in God, but we also want you to know that God believes in you. We are not against people who don't attend church anywhere. Instead, we pursue them with love, the very same love that's pursuing us. At our church, we're learning to serve God with all our hearts, and we're learning to worship Him with all our lives. And if you're looking for the perfect church, we're not it. At our church, we will make mistakes, but we will choose to grow from them. At our church, we're part of a global community that's knit together by the resurrection of Jesus. And by the way, at our church, we believe that really happened too. At our church, we will engage with people who are in real need because we are the hands and the feet of Christ. And finally, we need you to hear this loud and clear. At our church, it's not really our church at all. It's His. And we live and move and breathe in His church for His glory and His fame, not ours. So here's the invitation. You're invited to jump in with your whole heart at your own pace and to experience the life that awaits you in Christ. Friends, this is going to be good. Welcome to our church.